Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Fiso. Today's video is dedicated to all the high flyers, the go-getters, the goal-setters, those who set their plans, whether in a piece of paper or whatever gadget they use. They have their 5-year plan, their 10-year plan, their 20-year plan. They know what they're going to be doing in 6 months, in a year's time. Everything is mapped out, okay? So this video is dedicated to you guys, because that's how I'm like. I'm a planner. I put structures and plans for everything. So in this video, I'm gonna share one of the biggest financial mistakes I've ever made in my life. This is what I did. I just finished my degree in accounting and finance, graduated, all happy, excited, and as per my plan, I was like, I've got this going now. I've got my degree here now. I'm ready to go for the next thing in life. And for me, the next thing in life was to get on the property ladder. I wanted to own a house. And you know what? I didn't do a research and check and look at different banks and look at what they're offering, look at different products and all that. All I wanted to do was to own a house. So really, I didn't have an understanding of how all that stuff works. All I knew is that next on the list, I need to get a house. So I think the thought pattern was like this. I got my hubby, I got a baby, I got a degree. I'm like, next, owning a property. That was the thought pattern. That's all there was to that decision. I was unstoppable. I get this. Coming from university with a degree, and during my university years, I was working, doing part-time job. I was getting, I think, £5 an hour. I would say roughly per week, I would make £60 per week. So that was nothing. It really just went back into groceries and, covering other living expenses. That's all I was earning. So I didn't have a deposit. I had no deposit for a house. So what did I do? Took a loan, a personal loan. Instead of raising money for a deposit, I took a personal loan. Okay, this is why I took a personal loan. When I was at university, I used to get a lot of loan offers from the banks. From my bank, they'll say you've got a pre-approved loan and stuff like that. I used to get those. So I thought, oh well, I must be very good. The bank must think I'm very good. They're willing to give me money. So I got that loan. I applied for it actually, and it was approved. And I took that loan and paid as deposit for my house. Imagine. Who does that? Right now, when I look back, I ask myself,
Girl, you had an accounting and finance degree. Just graduated with an accounting and finance degree. What did you learn at university?
Were you not taught that at university? I think what I was doing is university, I think I was separating what I learned to what I was doing. I wasn't really applying it to my personal life at all, because that's why I did that. Otherwise, what was I doing at uni for the full 3 years? Learning about calculating interest, annuities, and all that stuff. Still couldn't apply it in my life. Common sense says, if you make a mistake, correct your mistake. But did I do that? No. I made a mistake, and then I made a mistake on top of a mistake. So this is the mistake on top of a mistake instead of correcting that I did. Okay? So when you applied for the mortgage, applied for interest only, I think it was interest only for 2-3 years, I can't remember, but I think it was 2 or 3 years of interest only. What that means, again, hindsight, what that means when you take an interest only loan, even if it's it was for 2 years, let's say 2 years, in this case was for 2 years, what that means is that if my loan was, say, if you take a loan today for $300,000 for 2 years interest only, what that means is at the end of 2 years, $300,000 will be owing plus interest. What it means is that you're just servicing the interest on the loan for the 2 years. In the 2 years of the loan, you haven't paid anything. This was my thought pattern. Very bad way of thinking. I was thinking, okay, if it's interest only for the 2 years, it gives me time to get into the property ladder, and also I can afford this. So I was thinking, I can afford this. It was about what I can afford at the moment. It wasn't about long term. Okay, so I could afford it at that time, but look at the impact. Like, if you, now that I'm wiser, or I'm applying what I've learned and life has taught me, now I look at that, I go like, that was a very, very bad decision. Because what it means is that, you know, for the 2 years I paid nothing on the principal, I paid nothing on the mortgage itself. I was just servicing the loan. So at the end of the day, it ended up costing me more. What I mean by that is, when we make our decisions, our finance decisions, really, I think looking at today at short-term benefits is not smart. Okay, because I was paying less, let's say for instance, I was paying interest only, it means my monthly commitments were less, right? They were less. But in the long term, because I was paying nothing on the principal, in the long term, I was going to end up paying more, because the interest is being calculated on a higher amount, because I wasn't chipping off at my principal. Okay, so that was really bad. Hindsight 2020, now that I know better, this is what I should have done. I should have worked, if it meant getting 3 jobs or whatever, and given myself time, say like maybe in 2 years or 3 years, and then after that, then buy the house. That was gonna be smart. Work and raise money for the deposit. I should have told myself that, girl, you're an achiever and everything, but at times, you know, it's not about getting it now. It's about getting it when the time is right. It's about getting it with better understanding the market, understanding how finance works, understanding how money works, and looking at costs from a long-term perspective instead of looking at it from a short-term perspective. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Hope this was useful. Hope you can use my mistakes, learn from my mistakes, and make wise decisions. Okay, the wise people, the smart people, they learn from other people's mistakes. They don't wait until they make very bad decisions that will affect them long term for them to learn. So I shared this video so that you guys learn from my mistakes. Like this video, share it, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in once again. Bye.